Good day everyone! In this video, I'll talk about economic globalizations. And after that, let's identify the actors who facilitate the economic globalization. The simple and concise definition of economics is the study of how our society uses its limited resources. Economics is a social science that deals with the production, distribution, and consumption of goods and services. Economics focuses on four factors of production. These are the four ingredients that made economic activity in our world. These are land, labor, capital, and enterprise. So basically, economics is the study of an economy. An economy indicates a particular area or country concerning a production, distribution, consumptions, and exchange of goods and services, and supply of money. The global economy refers to the interconnected worldwide activities that take place between multiple countries. This is an economic theory that refers to an economy's ability to produce goods and services at a lower opportunity cost than its trade partners. The global economic system embarked in 1986 and had reached its peak in 1914. So everybody knows the relevant changes and improvements that characterize economic globalization. So the structures of the transportation, communication, and capitals are comparable in the past to the present. Frieden stated that the global economy was not equally good for everyone and was bad for many. First reason is that the poor nations who inhabit them are subjugated by the operations of the global economy. Number two, not all parts of the world equally gained from the growth of economy. Third, certain industries and social classes lose out. Fourth reason, within the nations, poor tends to suffer most when those nations are forced to repay their debts to other more developed nations. Now, we can all agree that a global economy was not equally good for everyone and was bad for many. To get a quick and snapshot of global trade and net economic flows in and out of the nation is by looking at a nation's trade surpluses or deficits. Surpluses, this is the amount of something left over when requirements have been met. So an excess or production or supply over demand. Deficits, the amount by which something, especially a sum of money, is too small. Of special interest and importance as far as trade surpluses and deficits are concerned of the two global economic giants, the US and China, in terms of their trade balances. So here's the fact. Many Chinese products are attractable because they are priced low, mainly as a result of the low cost of labor there and the quality is high when compared to the price being paid. The trade deficit with China has certainly hurt the American industry. However, this has greatly aided the American consumer who has access to the wide range of low-price imports from China and to other countries. Gary Gariffy enumerated the most important economics chains and network involved in global trade. These are supply chains, international production networks, global commodity chains, and global value chains. Supply chain, these are general label for value-adding activities in the production process. A supply chains begin with the raw materials and follows the value-adding process through a variety of inputs and outputs and ultimately to a finished product. For example, a cotton, it is a raw material. At various steps, workers and then the technology added value to the cotton so that in the end of the finished product, which is the t-shirt, it has a greater value compared to the cotton, no? Okay, international production networks. These involves the network of producers involved in the process of producing a finished product. Multinational corporations are seen as playing a central role as being the flagships in these networks. They bring together the idea of adding value-adding chains and the global organizations of industries. They also accrued a central place to the growing importance of the sellers of global products. This includes buyer-driven chains such as the Walmart, which play an increasing role in determining what industries produce and how much they produce. There are companies that do not manufacture their own products. They are buyers of products that are then sold under their brand names. So a good example of this is the Nike brand. So Nike is a brand of company manufacturers without factories. Garafi argues that global value chains are emerging as the overarching label of all work in this area and for all such chains. He described it as these highlight the relative value of those economic activities that are required to bring a good or service from conception to through the different phases of production, delivery to final consumers, and final disposal after use. Examples of global value chains are scrap metal, waste paper, iPhones, and t-shirt. To give a specific idea of what a global chains is, students investigated the products and services sold in the Philippines. They enumerated countries involved in the production, distribution, and consumption of the products being sold and consumed in the country. So now, let us watch the students' presentation of McDonald's Big Mac Burger and Nike shoes. So these two involves trade between or among multiple countries.
Now, the first one is list down the main ingredients and raw materials in manufacturing the chosen products. Identify where each ingredients and materials came from. First, the Big Mac bun. It is from the England. Next is the patty, which is from Ireland. Lettuce from the UK if it's summer, and it is imported from if it's winter, it is imported from Spain. Next is the cheese, which is from Northern Ireland. Onions from the US. Pickles from Turkey, and the Big Mac sauces in England. As we can see, there are a lot of imports or exports that are coming from the northern region or the European part, since there is a more they can have more storage facing from their cold temperature, and meaning the items or the products that they are exporting can be um, can last a long time since they are preserved in a cold weather. Next one is the question number 2. Identify the countries that are involved in manufacturing the chosen product and its services. First, there is Brazil, which is known for coffee, which is so Brazil is exporting coffee. Canada's crude oil, Norway's seafoods for the fish and chips for other countries, machineries and equipments that are coming from Switzerland, United States selling bananas. That's odd. And Italy selling wine and other such. Now, we can go next to question number 3. Aside from the Philippines, there are 57 more countries that are selling the Big Mac. There are Switzerland, Norway, then Ukraine. There's a lot, that's why I can't say it all. But I can rank them as Switzerland has the most expensive one, which is $6.2 a piece. And Ukraine has $1.6 as the cheapest one around the 57 of them. Next one is the side kinds of technology that made the creation of the products possible. They are the biotechnology, or the how would you taste them, the nuclear, not really nuclear, but it's more about the energy that you are being used, heat, the technology, mechanical ones, and there's also medical, since we can say that there's some parts that are healthy, but we cannot say that all of it is healthy. Electronics, such as the electrical stove that they may be using if they're more of a high tech, or they want to save more energy in terms of burning coals and other such. And Lastly, the learnings for our group is while observing the informations of our group mates that we have collected, we found that there are more companies that are growing and needs assistance from other countries since we can a country the own country cannot sustain it and cannot give out the products and service to all of the people in their vicinity since it may lead to shortages of supplies scarce that would lead to scarcity of the products that we are being demanded and our supply would be diminished or it would have only a marginal or it would have a limit to it. So on other countries, we get our products from other countries so that we can cope up with the demand of the people and can um, profit from it way more. So that would be it for the Group A, McDonald's, the big information for the Big Mac.
How did it start? For brief history for Nike. So it was founded in 1964 and named Blue Ribbon Sports by Bill Bowerman, a track and field coach at the University of Oregon and yung former student niya na si Phil Knight, and they opened their first retail outlet in 1966 and launched their Nike brand in 1972. So the company was renamed Nike and it came from the winged goddess, Greek goddess of victory and both in war and peace. So the logo, did you know that the logo was only cost $35 and made by Caroline Davidson, but Nike was awarded her by swoosh shaped gold and diamond ring and also 500 shares that estimated 1 million now. And Cortez is one of the remarkable shoes being made by Nike, and it was known due to the Olympic in 1972. Next.
Is polyester. 19% of the polyester Nike uses is recycled from China and India, which are the main polyester producers worldwide. Second is rubber. 70% of Nike shoes now use environmentally preferred rubber from Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, which are the top producers of rubber around the world. Third is foam. EVA foam, which stands for ethylene vinyl acetate, is a very environmentally friendly material from China. Next is cotton. Nike uses organic cotton, means that it is harvested without chemical pesticides, no fertilizer and defoliants. Nike gets most of its cotton from suppliers in China, India, Turkey, and the United States of America. Lastly is the synthetic leather or the leather. Nike uses synthetic leather on their products because it is cheaper than the real leather, tends to be more breathable and easier to clean that came from China, Vietnam, and Taiwan.
Countries where it is sold. So Nike has contracted with 700 shops around the world and has offices located in 45 countries outside the United States. When manufacturing process is complete, the shoes are sent to distribution locations in several different countries all over the world, including the Africa, Canada, Brazil, and including also the United States. Nike shoes also distributed to Asian countries such as Japan, China, South Korea, and other European countries like Germany, Italy, and they also distribute their products in different countries in Middle East such as Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Egypt, and even in Israel.
Technology used. To determine your perfect fit, Nike Fit employs a patented blend of computer vision, data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence, and recommendation algorithms. This is the Nike website, and there is an app that is the extension of the Nike.com.
So for the three statements, so what we have learned aside from the business you are starting must be what you want and you always enjoy doing is that instead of statement we made acoustic. So we had add in glow. So add means adaptability. So adaptability. It is business must adopt to the current trends, whether it is to technology used for production or the market methods. For example, is endorsers. The best endorser is Michael Jordan. And adaptability because businessmen must be prepared to unexpected happenings that unexpected happening. Especially, the best example for that is this pandemic. Madami pong business na napansin nating nagsara at na bankrupt po dahil sa ang pandemic po, unexpected po siya na nangyari. So, wala pong preparation yung ibang businesses na dapat meron po talaga. So, next po, we have stands for innovation or the revolution of products. Kasi po, mas nabebenta po yung unique products kasi ito po yung nakaka-catch ng attention ng mga consumer. So lastly, we have GLO stands for globalization. So this includes raw materials and the production to the other countries. So sa raw materials po, ang mga businessmen, mas naghanap po sila ng murang raw materials pero mataas po yung kalidad. And then sa production to the other countries naman po, which is yung exporting of their product naman po. Dito po mas mapapakilala nila yung products nila at mas tataas po yung profit na makukuha nila. So that's what we have learned po.
Consumptions is the use of goods and services by the households. Consumption is highly complex, involving mainly consumer object and services, consumers, consumption products, and consumption sites. Consumption revolves around shopping for and purchasing objects of all kinds. In the fullness of time, an increased amount of consumption relates to various services like accounting, legal, and educational. The particular importance in terms of global objects and services is the issue of brands and branding. Brands are important within nations and globally. In fact, a lot of money and efforts are invested in creating a brand names that are recognized and trusted throughout the world. In the best-selling book, No Logo, Taking Aim at the Brand Bullies, the author Naomi Klein detailed the importance of the brand in the contemporary world and the degree to which brands are both globalized and having a global impact. Therefore, a logo is virtually an international language. A consumer is a person who purchases goods and services for personal use. So thus, consumers define themselves by what they consume, no? In addition, consumers are on the move throughout the world, often as a tourist. Not only is tourism is a form of consumption, but much tourism is undertaken in order to consume goods and services on offer at other locales through the globe. This includes knowing how to work their way through a shopping mall, use a credit card, or to make a purchase online. Consumption includes shopping malls, fast food, restaurants, clothing, and chains. SM, Robinsons, Mercury Drugs, Alphamart, 7-Eleven, and others. Disney-like themes like Enchanted Kingdom, Sky Ranch, Ocean Adventure, Manila Ocean Park, Splash Island, and others. Internet sites like Amazon, eBay, Shopee, Lazada. Alright, that's it. We defined the global economy and we identified the actors who facilitated the economic globalization.